Hi, I'm Roger and welcome back to the Tractor Tech channel. In the past I've talked about quick hitches and how I like them, the different types of bushings and what implements they can be used on. But despite how much I like quick hitches, they have some downfalls. So that's what I'm going to talk about today. Owning a quick hitch is you have to have quick hitch compatible implements. I found that in most cases that the lift arm spacing is right for use with a quick hitch, but the top link spacing is either off and or has an obstruction in the way of the top hook, and you can see that there's this brace running in the way on this cultivator. You can see that on this rotary cutter that the lift arm spacing is right, but the top link spacing is not right. The side link needs adjusted on the tractor for the way the rotary cutter is sitting right now. I even thought I might be able to get lucky on this one and remove this bushing and put a Cat 3 bushing in there, but the spacing is off to be used with a quick hitch. The next biggest downfall to a quick hitch, besides having to have quick hitch compatible equipment, is you need these bushings to go from a Cat 1 to a Cat 2 and Cat 2 to a Cat 3. I'll post a link to the video up above where I talk about these bushings in more detail, but you probably figured out when you got home, went to use it on your first implement, that it fit loose and you needed bushings to make it fit tight. If you don't use bushings, it's eventually going to beat out the quick hitch. These bushings are around a couple dollars a piece depending on where you get them. So you need 4 for the lift arms, 2 for the top link, 6 per implement, around 12 bucks or so in bushings. If you have several implements, the cost starts to add up. The downfall to a quick hitch is, even though they're called a quick hitch, sometimes they're not really that quick to use. You need to have the tractor and the implement setting on level ground, because if the implement is setting off camber a little bit from what the quick hitch is, it's going to be very tough to get hooked up to. So now I'm going to show you hooking up to this implement with the tractor, and we'll see how it goes. You can see I didn't have the top link set right, so it's not going into the lower hooks. So I'll drop it down and try it again. Good thing about a quick hitch is, if you can't get hooked up underneath of it, most of the time if you can get the top hook up into your top link of the implement, you can pick it up, drive it somewhere else to where it's more level or easy to hook up, and drop it down and then back underneath of it properly. So now that I adjusted the top link shorter to where it should be, the tractor's not sitting exactly square with the implement. You can see that the implement is resting on the lower hooks, not allowing it to drop down into the quick hitch like it should be. So the next downfall to a quick hitch is it moves everything back 4 inches. You can see you'd normally be attaching to the implement here, but now you're all the way back here. So that's going to reduce your lift capacity, which if you have a larger compact tractor, that's not really going to be that big of a deal. On something like this Kubota BX, for most people, it's not going to be too big of a deal either. Where I find it a problem is with the pallet forks. If I'm really pushing this tractor to the limits, I can't pick up stuff like I could prior to having the quick hitch. Plus the quick hitch itself weighs about 70 pounds, so I'm losing 70 pounds of lift capacity right there with the quick hitch on the tractor. Also, since the quick hitch moves the implement back 4 inches, if your PTO shaft was cut prior to having a quick hitch, you may need to get an extension that goes onto the PTO side of the tractor so your shaft will be long enough to use with the quick hitch. Or if you have a larger compact tractor, the PTO shaft may not be long enough, even though it's a brand new shaft, to use with a quick hitch, so it may require an extension. I'm not that crazy about an extension on the PTO shaft because that's going to be hard on the bearing there on the output of the PTO shaft on the tractor. So all quick hitches that I'm aware of that are sold today have adjustable top hooks on them. I really don't care for this. I like the old version iMatch with the fixed top hook. You can see how tight the tolerances are here on this Woods RB60 blade. I have a LR72 rake and it's the same way. I actually had to take a grinder to the front of this and grind it down some to help keep it from rubbing. It actually needs a little bit more work to make it more easy to hook up. Also, to gain a little bit more room in here, you can loosen these bolts and stick a pry bar and pry out on the top hook of the quick hitch, then tighten them back down. You can loosen this bolt that holds the quick hitch bushing in on the blade and pry against it forward to gain a little bit more room and tighten it back down. So despite all these things, I still would not be without a quick hitch on a tractor, and I find them to be a great time saver. Thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please hit the like button and consider subscribing to my channel for more videos like this. And also ring the bell to be sure you are notified about my new uploads.